안녕하세요 여러분, 리라입니다. Hi everyone, I'm Lila and today I'm going to be showing you how I self-study Korean. I've been learning Korean for about a year now, and I'd say I got to an intermediate level in 6 months. Today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved that without paying for anything, like I didn't spend a single penny, and how you can teach yourself Korean as well. Firstly, I might get a few questions asking why I started learning Korean, and I'm not going to lie, it was because of K-pop. As long as you have a passion for the culture and the language, then I really don't think it matters what inspires you to begin. By learning Korean, I discovered something about myself, which was how much I love learning languages. I'm still on my learning journey and I have a long way to go, so please leave any recommendations for resources down below. This video is going to be split up into how I make my notes and what resources I use, what I use for vocab, any apps or other resources, and finally some tips for learning new languages. Firstly, the resources I use. So my two main resources are a YouTube channel called Miss Vicky. I literally want to dedicate this video to Miss Vicky because she is that amazing. And she has both pre-recorded and live lessons, and I've been using her every single step of my language learning journey. So I couldn't recommend her more. Like, she explains stuff so clearly and they're so easy to follow. She also creates review notes which you can annotate instead of writing everything down yourself, and she produces quizzes to test your knowledge on the topic. Please check out her channel, she really deserves it. For grammar and vocab, I use a website called How to Study Korean. You've probably heard of it. Their lessons are so detailed and clear. On How to Study Korean website, at the start of each lesson they have a list of vocab with an audio, so you can listen to each word over and over again as many times as you want to get the pronunciation correct. They also have a test, so you can test your knowledge at the end of each course. Next, I'm going to talk about the apps that I use. So to be honest, I don't really use that many apps, although I would say I loved Rosetta Stone, but just using Miss Vicky and How to Study Korean, I wasn't really practicing my speaking at all, and I found that was lagging behind everything else. If you're willing to pay for the subscription, then I'd say definitely try out Rosetta Stone. Hello Talk is another app that I use. You can speak to native speakers of your target language who are learning your native language and both help each other along the way. I'd say listening to music helps a lot because you can definitely pick up so many of the words, and K-dramas as well. Oh my gosh, my favourite K-dramas are Really Love Alarm.
I'm currently watching Crash Landing on You, Love Struck in the City, and Tempted.
Now I'm going to be sharing some of my top tips for learning new languages. My first thing is to say, make sure that you get a broad range of all your listening, reading, writing and speaking. Don't limit yourself, because then you're going to be considerably better in one area than the other, which is not the best, to be honest. Maybe you could start learning with a friend. My friend and I both started learning together, which was so nice because we could ask each other questions, message each other in Korean, or send each other useful videos that we find. You also have someone who can keep you accountable and someone who you can just message for advice and support. Also, keep reinforcing it, even if it's just going over a little bit of vocab and lessons every week, just to keep it in your mind. It's really helped me. Every week or so I try and go over some vocab or previous lessons just to keep reinforcing it so I don't forget everything. One thing that's really helped me is making flashcards after the lesson. So I've got my notes here. Then what I did afterwards is make flashcards on the topic. I can easily test myself without having to scramble through this whole folder of notes. I can just get the flashcards out and quickly test myself.